What is up, everybody? It's Kamikaze here today. Today I wanted to talk about Call of Duty Mobile Ranked Season 8. Now, this is a season where I was kind of talking about maybe coming back into Ranked, but after reading the patch notes, I decided, hell no, okay? Hell no. They added in skill-based matchmaking. So this is another one of the rants that I've not done in a little while, so let's get right into it, guys, because I have some interesting opinions on this subject. Yeah, skill-based matchmaking, one of probably the most hated systems of matchmaking in basically any game ever. For some reason, so many YouTubers, so many pros always ask for it in the game, and then as soon as it gets added in, they all hate it, including, most of the time, the lower players, the lower tier bad players. You know, I am a bad player, I am terrible at COD Mobile, and, you know, at the end of the day, I can hold my own in a ranked match. I got to Legendary League in Season 5, and after that I really didn't want to kind of come back to ranked for various reasons, which we will get into. But this just, it kind of makes me want to never return to ranked ever again, because, well, skill-based matchmaking is extremely broken anytime you add it in, and we've seen that with COD Cold War. And I know that may be somewhat of an unpopular opinion, because some people do like it, but there are a lot of people out there that just absolutely hate skill-based matchmaking. Now, what the heck is skill-based matchmaking? You guys may be asking yourself. Well, before we get into that, if you guys could please, I forgot to say this, please like and subscribe. It always helps me out a lot. You know, we're trying to get to whatever subs, so, you know, any subscriber helps. Thank you guys. Sorry for that, you know, shameless self-promotion. But what is skill-based matchmaking? You know, skill-based matchmaking is a system where basically, when you get more kills against better players, it will make you go up against even better players, okay? You get less kills, if you're doing very bad in games, you go up against basically lower tier players. Now, in a sense, we have skill-based matchmaking in ranked already, and we always have. However, you know, this type of skill-based matchmaking is, well, it's not, you know, true to the term, I guess. You know, we have a skill-based matchmaking system where basically there are leagues. You know, every single time you move up the league, you go up against harder enemies, you know, players that are essentially going to be better. Okay, if you do bad, you're going to stay in that league, or you're going to go down a league, okay, and go up against easier enemies, or, you know, stay in the same place. If you're good, you're going to keep on going up and up and up. Now, skill-based matchmaking basically kind of goes beyond that. What it does is, it basically makes it so that, you know, without actually moving up leagues, technically, you are going to be going up against harder players. So say, for example, you get, you know, 3 wins, you get a bunch of kills, a couple of rounds. Progressively, that is just going to make it so that you're going up against ridiculously, like, harder teammates. And that was one of the issues, I think, when we saw COD Cold War come out on the PC and console versions. COD Cold War definitely had a very bad start because the skill-based matchmaking was so bad that players at the top leagues, you know, the pro esports players, could barely even get a 2.0 KD, which is absolutely crazy compared to, you know, other CODs. So, you know, skill-based matchmaking, I guess, you know, if utilized correctly, it can be somewhat helpful, but in most cases, it's so annoying. Basically, what it's trying to do is it's trying to make the top-tier players go up against top-tier players. It's trying to make the lower-tier players go up against lower-tier players. That's basically what it's trying to do, but it is a flawed system, as many people have found out, okay? Now, you know, I left ranked a long while back after Season 5 of ranked. You know, I left. I got to legendary in ranked, okay, in battle royale and multiplayer, 2 in the same season. And so after that, I really saw no need to continue. You know, I had gotten basically that prestige right there, all that I really needed or wanted. I wanted to prove to myself that, you know, I could get legendary, and I did. After that, I really had no need to go back there because I knew that, you know, I have played 2,000 matches of COD, and in all honesty, you know, I'm still just about average, okay? I'm not a great player. So, you know, going into ranked, I knew that would just frustrate me more than possibly imaginable, and that my content was never going to be focused on, well, ranked gameplay, like all of the other people out there. I have extreme respect. Please understand that I have extreme respect for that community and what they do there, because that is, honestly, so crazy that I can't even imagine some of the stuff they're pulling off, okay? I could never get to that level. You know, I just don't have the time, the energy, or, you know, heck, I don't have a quarter of the skill required to be there. So I know that I would never fit in there, and I decided to kind of leave there. You know, it was also extremely boring, because I think that, you know, ranked mode is so neglected by COD Mobile they really and truly, they don't add in maps when they should. I think that there's not enough maps in ranked in the first place, so going up against the same maps over and over again just does get boring when they're not adding in, the maps that I think they should be. There just aren't enough maps compared to the non-ranked, the normal gameplay. There just are not enough game modes either. It's just, to me, it's too boring. And it's so sweaty, and I'm not interested in that type of play. Again, absolutely no, I'm not trying to down any of the community there, because honestly, I have so much respect for what they do. And I do, in fact, enjoy watching what they have to put out. And, seeing what that community can put off just really, it impresses me from a mobile perspective, because I've never seen that type of that high tier level of play in mobile ever. I've never seen it before, and they just continue to get better and better and impress me. So I do want to say that about ranked. I'm not really talking about the player base there. I'm more talking about the system and, some of the issues with it. Now, skill-based matchmaking, I feel like I've not explained enough about why it is, bad. I've explained kind of what it is, but I have not explained exactly why it is so bad. Sorry for that, but I love blabbering on and ranting. You guys know that, this is completely unscripted, by the way. I am just blabbering on and on about what I think about this. So basically, skill-based matchmaking, the reason why I believe that it is a horrible addition, and, honestly, a lot of players dislike it in the first place, which shows how horrible it is. It's funny. People want it when it's not in the game, but once it is in the game, people hate it. Skill-based matchmaking, basically what it does is it creates this sense of, really, you have no reward. It deletes the reward from the game, okay? Because, basically our system of skill-based matchmaking with the league's system, where, whenever you get better and better, if you get enough kills, you move up. You move up a league. And then you continue to move up leagues, of course, so that you go up against higher tier players. That is a reward, okay? That is basically a sense where you are going up against players that are better, but you also have that reward. If I were to say, oh, I got a ranked nuke, but I was only in, like, say, Rookie 1, well, I'm probably going up against bots. Now, if I were to say I got a ranked nuke in Legendary League, there is something to flex behind. The issue is, and the big issue that I see, is that when you have a sort of system where it is kind of in the background, because that's what really the skill-based matchmaking is. Basically, what it means is that there's no reward behind it, okay? You're just going to go up against harder and harder players, and inevitably you're going to end up losing, okay? Without really any sense of reward. It is pure competition, which I think a lot of players really like, that competition, but if there's no reward behind it, for a lot of players, I think that is definitely a big downer. Now, there is an issue, I think, also with it, is the fact that it's really not going to make gameplay all that harder for the top leagues as much as it is for maybe the lower leagues. Because the issue is players, that are in the tippity top of this game get bored. They are killing so many players and, having such a high KD that they want to go up against harder teammates. And I see that all the time with YouTubers saying, we need a league above Legendary. And they aren't wrong. However, here's the issue. The matchmaking pool is not really big enough to, support a higher tier level of play. There's an extent. If you want to go to a higher tier level of play, I would honestly get into Discord and get some scrims down, okay? Get into some scrims, they have some really nice players there that would be definitely willing to scrim with you guys if you want to get into true esports. But in reality, ranked can only go so far in terms of its player base. Because if you are willing to wait around for, 5-10 minutes for a match, by all means, I guess, support having a higher tier level of play. But, really, you need that player base behind it, and the only way you're going to get that is by expanding the matchmaking pool and reducing the wait time, because if you don't have that wait time, if you have like a ridiculously long wait time, less players are going to play ranked. And I think that that's a big issue. They don't want long wait times, and the only way to really create this higher tier level of play is to increase that wait time even more. And I've seen players complain continuously about the wait time, and I've seen also players continuously complain about the low skill level. It's a rock and a hard place scenario that is really kind of unfixable unless you want to go into esports, genuine esports, rather than just ranked. Get into some scrims, get into some tournaments, whatever. That is where you're going to find true high tier levels of play. But for ranked, I really think that it's a bad idea to add in skill-based matchmaking, because in reality, it's going to really not improve the gameplay for players at the top tier. All it's going to do is make it so that players, that are in the low and mid tier of play, in the low mid tier of ranked, I feel like I should specify, it's going to make them kind of, well, they're going to be going up against, you win a couple matches, and then immediately you lose one randomly, and it's really less, I feel like it's even less, less skill-based, actually. I know we're talking about skill-based matchmaking, but, if you get a bunch of kills, you're basically getting a negative reward as to a positive reward. If you're getting a bunch of kills, you don't want to have to go up against, like, a stacked team the next time around, okay? You want to keep on getting kills. And I think, that's fine. Going up against harder opponents is perfectly fine. It is a sense of the progression in ranked. But the issue kind of comes where there is no reward behind it. If you have no reward, players really aren't going to like that. And that's what we're seeing in COD Cold War. You kind of get to the tippity top, and, there's skill-based matchmaking and whatnot. So, you kind of get to that tippity top, okay? And then, from there's really nowhere else to go. You're playing up against players that are also in this esport, and although that may be fun. That may be fun for players that really want tough teammates. For players that really want to get kills and really want kind of a reward-based system, that reward's never going to be there. Because no matter what, you can be the best player in the world, and you can barely even get a 2.0 KD. There's no reward behind it. You're just going to go up against harder and harder teammates. In a sense, being a better player actually is just going to make you go up against harder players. It's a negative reward as to a positive one. And so that's why I think, skill-based matchmaking could definitely, I think that the current system could use, I don't know, I know people complain about it so much, but the current system of ranked, it's going to be hard to fix that matchmaking, because there's not much they can do. If they could make the teams harder at the top tier, they would. But at this point in time, I think the matchmaking pool at the tippy top, remember, guys, you are at the top couple of percent of ranked players, which the ranked players really in this game there aren't all that many. You're at that tippity top percent. The matchmaking pool, especially when split between servers and everything, is going to be a long wait if you want to increase that skill level. I think honestly, if you want to go up against harder teammates, go into scrims. As in terms of, skill-based matchmaking, I don't think it's a good idea. I think that, we've seen this happen so many times, skill-based matchmaking, and it really, it's not a good idea. It is so horribly, horribly sweaty that a lot of people do not like it. And I remember seeing, a player, I watched a YouTuber play Cold War, and basically this one round he had gotten like a 28-2. Like a bunch of kills, okay? And then the next round, the skill-based matchmaking said, screw you, and placed him up against players that were horribly, horribly above his skill level, and immediately, he had like a half KD. So it shows, how strong skill-based matchmaking can be and how destructive it can be in terms of, that kind of reward-based system. So that is all I really had to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I want to hear you guys. I want to hear what you guys have to say. So please, tell me. I want to hear what you guys have to say about the subject. And if you disagree, tell me why. Just please, of course, be nice, okay? Be kind. I'm not trying to, like, attack you or anything, but some players definitely like to go down to the comment section and write some pretty nasty comments, which I don't need that. Civilized conversation is what I'm into. I like to hear it. So, that is my video. Thank you guys for watching. I love y'all. Have a great day.